Hey there, it's Walt. I have a special guest this week. I get emails saying, it's really nice. We love the blog when Ann is in it. I don't know what that's about.
I think because I'm very human. I think so.
I think it's the sheer brilliance of it. We had an interesting run. We met two different people along our run with two very different worldviews. The first was an older gentleman along the side of the road, and we knew him, and we stopped, and he looked at us up and down, and he said, "I wish I were in the shape you two are in." And we, of course, appreciated that. We ran on, and we actually talked a little about that idea of wishing that you were doing something. And then about 4 or 5 miles into the run, we came across another gentleman about the same age that we know, and he was walking along the road, and he was going really fast, and he looked at us and he said, "You got to keep at it, don't you?" And we began to think about the difference between wishing you could do something and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we actually spent time with a second fellow and we were preaching at each other like, you never get to quit. Yeah, you always have to be at it. And we were back and forth with it. And we acknowledged the fact that if you want something, if you want a result, you always have to be at it. There is never a finish line that you get to cross and put your hands down. And the other fellow, works with his body. He understands, what it is to be out in the world, but he was busy wishing.
And I think there are those two components. I think that it's the component of wanting something, getting clear about what you want, and then taking the action toward it. You are often in your work, people will say, I really wish I could write a book.
Yeah, wishing, I've noticed thus far, at least with me, hasn't really amounted to a whole hill of beans.
Well, and people who, we talk about running marathons and half marathons, people say, I wish I could run a marathon or a half marathon. And it just starts with, I think, just deciding what it is that you really, really want.
Yeah, and then the second step after deciding is to begin to instill different habits, to choose 1 or 2 key habits to anchor in. And those habits are what take you the distance. Those are what get you what you want.
And both of us, we've run ultra marathons, which is crazy. And I don't know how I could explain how to run an ultra marathon to anyone other than to say that it's just one step after another step. I know how to take one step and then the next step. And that's true with writing. You could write a pretty serious book, writing a page a day, for 6 months or a year. You could get ready for your 10K or spring marathon by just starting out running half a mile. And I think you're right, it's just dialing in those core habits and staying consistent. It's one thing to say, I wish I could go to the grocery store. And it's another to actually get in the car and go to the grocery store. It's actually taking action. And I love visualization. I think having a vision board is something kind of cool and powerful. I love the idea of the secret. But at the end of the day, what's really key is the action.
Yeah. So do you remember what was the movie Silence of the Lambs? And it says the first step essentially is you covet what you see. So wishing something, seeing something you want is the first thing. You covet what you see. You know what it is you want. The second step is knowing that wishing gets you nowhere.
So getting clear on what you want and then dialing in those core habits and being consistent. It's the small steps over time that lead to the magnificent results. A lot of people, if they jump in to writing, they want to sit down and they'll like get all bound up with writing, trying to write a lot, or if they're trying to
it's got to be a bestseller right now. Let me write a bestseller right this minute. Yep.
Or if they want to run, they'll like run 5 miles right out of the box and hurt themselves.
You don't want to do that.
No, so just showing up every single day and taking a small step. It's not the size of the step, it's the consistency of the action. And wishing won't make it so. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.
Bye, guys.